I'm Erica Martinez, and at 31 years old, I can still feel the ice-cold water soaking through my Valentino dress as my own father stood over me, laughing. My designer heels slipped on the marble fountain bottom while 300 wedding guests applauded my humiliation. But I wasn't crying. I was smiling. Because in exactly 12 minutes, my husband would walk through those ballroom doors, and my family's world would shatter into 1,000 pieces. Before I tell you what happened next, drop a like and subscribe to Formidable Revenge channel. Comment below and tell me where you're watching from, because this story gets wild. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single second. Let me take you back to how I ended up in that fountain at my baby sister's wedding in downtown Chicago. The Palmer House. Hilton's grand ballroom sparkled with crystal chandeliers and white roses that probably cost more than most people's cars. My sister Natalie was marrying Connor Blackwell III, heir to a pharmaceutical empire. My parents, Richard and Victoria Martinez, were practically glowing with pride. Meanwhile, I sat at table 23, not with family, not even close to the main festivities. I was seated with my mother's former hairdresser, a distant cousin nobody recognized, and two elderly relatives who kept asking if I was the catering manager. My cousin Ashley spotted me first, her eyes scanning my empty chair beside me. "Erica, you actually came. And alone again?" Her voice dripped with manufactured sympathy. "After what happened with that lawyer you were seeing, I thought you'd be too embarrassed to show your face." Complete fiction. I'd never dated a lawyer, but the Martinez family specialized in creating narratives that painted me as the perpetual disappointment. Growing up in the Martinez family of Chicago meant one thing. Natalie was the sun, and I was the shadow nobody noticed. Our brownstone in Lincoln Park looked perfect from the outside. Inside, it was a battlefield where I always lost. "Why can't you be more like your sister?" became my childhood lullaby, sung by both parents in perfect harmony. My father, a prominent investment banker, measured worth in social capital. My mother, a former Miss Illinois, never missed a chance to highlight my inadequacies. When I graduated valedictorian from Lincoln High, the dinner conversation centered on Natalie's acceptance into Northwestern's theater program. When I won a statewide mathematics competition, my trophy sat in the basement while Natalie's participation ribbons lined the mantel. My 16th birthday dinner remains burned into my memory. I thought maybe, just once, I'd be the center of attention. Instead, my father stood with his champagne glass and announced Natalie's lead role in the school musical. My birthday cake stayed in the kitchen. My candles never got lit. College brought no relief. While I maintained a perfect GPA at the University of Chicago, working nights to help with expenses my parents claimed they couldn't cover, they flew across the country monthly to watch Natalie's performances at UCLA. At my graduation, my mother's first words, "Criminal justice? I suppose someone has to do the practical jobs." The pattern continued into adulthood. Every achievement minimized, every choice questioned, every holiday an exercise in survival. So I did what I had to do. I disappeared from their narrative. I stopped sharing my life. I declined invitations. I built walls so high even I sometimes forgot what was on the other side. The irony? My career wasn't just flourishing. It was extraordinary. At 26, I joined the DEA as a special agent. 3 years later, I'd led operations that dismantled two major trafficking organizations. By 30, I'd been recruited to the CIA's Special Activities Division. My work was classified, dangerous, and exactly where I belonged. That's where I met Cameron Webb. The first time I saw him, I was undercover at a cybersecurity summit in Las Vegas, tracking a weapons dealer. Cameron wasn't just attending, he was the keynote speaker. Web Security Solutions wasn't just another tech company. It was the invisible shield protecting half the Fortune 500 and multiple government agencies from digital warfare. Our eyes met across a crowded conference hall, and something shifted. He approached with confidence that wasn't arrogance, just certainty. "You're not really interested in encryption protocols," he said, his voice low and warm. "You're tracking someone." I should have been alarmed. Instead, I was intrigued. "What makes you say that?" "Because I've been watching you watch everyone else for the past hour. You move like someone trained to disappear." His smile was devastating. "Cameron Webb." "Claire Thompson." I lied smoothly, using my cover identity. "Sure you are." He handed me his card. "When you're ready to tell me your real name, call me. I'd like to take you to dinner." 3 months later, after my operation concluded, I did call. By then, he knew exactly who I was. Cameron had security clearances that rivaled mine. He'd quietly run background on me, discovered I was CIA, and waited patiently. Our first real date lasted 12 hours. We talked about everything: his childhood in Seattle, building his company from nothing, the loneliness of success. I told him about my family, the years of being invisible, the walls I'd built. "You're not invisible to me," he said simply. "You're extraordinary, Erica." 16 months later, we married in a private ceremony in Napa Valley. Just us, a judge, and Cameron's sister Hannah. No family drama, no comparisons, no disappointments. For 3 years, we built something beautiful. Cameron's company grew into a multi-billion-dollar empire. My position advanced until I became the youngest deputy director in the CIA's Directorate of Operations. We kept our marriage private for security reasons. Both his position and mine made us potential targets. But also, selfishly, I wanted something pure, something my family couldn't contaminate with their toxicity. The wedding invitation arrived like a subpoena. Gold embossed, overpriced, dripping with presumption. Natalie was marrying into Chicago royalty. My parents would finally have the dynasty they'd always wanted. Cameron was scheduled to be in London, finalizing a contract with MI6. "I can cancel," he offered, reading my tension. "No, this deal is crucial for WSS. I'll handle one afternoon with my family. I'll try to catch the late flight back, make it for the reception." I should have known better than to go alone. The reception was everything my parents loved. Excessive, showy, designed for maximum social media impact. I'd barely walked through the door when my Aunt Carmen cornered me. "Still single, Erica? Your biological clock must be deafening by now." My Uncle Raymond laughed loudly. "Still playing cops and robbers with that government job? When are you going to get a real career?" Each comment was a paper cut. Alone, manageable. Together, they bled. My mother found me near the terrace. "That dress washes you out. I specifically told you to wear something brighter." She adjusted Natalie's veil unnecessarily. "Your sister looks perfect, doesn't she?" "She looks beautiful. Mom, at least try to smile. The Blackwells are important people. Don't embarrass us." As if I were the embarrassment. The reception flowed with champagne and barely concealed judgment. I was seated so far from the main table I needed binoculars. My father's toast to Natalie lasted 15 minutes, recounting every achievement since birth. He never once glanced my direction. During the dancing, I attempted to join a group of cousins. They literally closed the circle, blocking me out. I retreated to a quiet corner, checking my phone. Cameron had texted, "Boarding now. See you soon. I love you." That's when my father approached, microphone still in hand from his earlier toast. His face was flushed with champagne and satisfaction. "Leaving early, Erica? Running away like always?" "Just getting air, Dad." "Running away," he repeated louder. Into the microphone. The entire ballroom turned. Classic Erica. Can't handle family obligations, can't maintain a relationship, can't even manage to bring a date to her own sister's wedding. Laughter rippled through the crowd. My face burned. "Dad, please? Please what? Stop telling the truth? He advanced toward me, and I saw the rage simmering beneath his polished exterior. Decades of resentment that I'd never measured up to his golden child. You're 31 years old, alone, working some dead-end government job, while your sister has built a real life. You don't know anything about my life. I know you're a disappointment. The words hung in the air like poison, then his hands connected with my shoulders. A hard, deliberate shove. I stumbled backward, arms flailing. For one suspended moment, I was weightless. Then I crashed into the fountain. Ice-cold water engulfed me. My carefully styled hair collapsed. My dress clung to my skin. My makeup ran in black rivers down my face. The crowd's reaction was immediate. Gasps transforming into laughter, then applause. Someone actually cheered. I pushed up from the fountain bottom, water streaming from my ruined dress. Through soaked hair, I saw my father's triumphant expression, my mother covering her smile with her hand. Natalie's undisguised joy. The photographer captured it all. My humiliation, immortalized. But as the cold water shocked my system, something else happened. Clarity. I was done. Done seeking their approval. Done accepting their abuse. Done hiding who I really was. I stood fully upright in that fountain, water cascading off my designer dress. I looked directly at my father. Remember this moment, I said, my voice cutting through the laughter. Remember exactly what you did. Because I promise you'll replay it in your mind for years to come. His smile faltered. Something in my tone registered. I climbed out with as much dignity as possible. No one helped. No one apologized. And for the first time in my life, I didn't care. I walked through the silent crowd, leaving a trail of water and shattered expectations. The Hilton's bathroom was mercifully empty. I stared at my reflection. Mascara streaked, hair destroyed, dress ruined. But my eyes were clear, determined, free. My phone showed Cameron's text, 10 minutes out, security team already positioned. I changed into my backup outfit, black sheath dress and flats I always kept in my car. A professional habit, always have an exit strategy. Fresh makeup. Hair pulled into a sleek bun. 10 minutes later, I looked like the CIA deputy director I actually was. I returned to the ballroom, positioning myself near the entrance. My mother was holding court with her society friends. Always difficult, that one. We tried everything. The best schools, the best therapists. Some children just refuse to thrive. Such a shame, agreed her friend, especially with Natalie being so successful. Same parents, same opportunities. My mother sighed dramatically. Richard and I have accepted that Erica will never. She stopped mid-sentence, noticing me standing there. Dry, composed, watching. Meredith, Erica, you're still here. Did you think I'd run away crying, Mother? Before she could respond, a commotion at the entrance silenced the entire ballroom. The distinct sound of multiple vehicle doors. 2 men in impeccable suits conducting a security sweep. Then 4 more, positioning themselves strategically. My mother frowned. What's happening? Right on schedule, I murmured. The double doors opened with authority. Cameron's head of security, Logan, entered first. His eyes found mine immediately, checking for threats. Behind him, his partner Travis took the opposite side of the room. Then Cameron walked in. My husband commanded attention effortlessly. 6'3", broad shoulders honed by years of competitive swimming, wearing a custom Tom Ford suit that whispered wealth. His dark hair was slightly windswept. He'd come straight from the airport. But his eyes, intense gray blue, scanned the room in seconds before locking onto me. His serious expression softened into the private smile meant only for me. He crossed the ballroom floor with the confidence of a man who'd built an empire from nothing. People instinctively parted, creating a path. My mother stood frozen beside me, her body rigid as she realized this impressive man was heading directly toward us. Cameron reached me, taking my hands in his. His thumbs brushed my knuckles in our secret signal. Sorry I'm late. You're right on time, I replied, feeling steady for the first time all day. He kissed me. Not showy, just genuine. His hand moved protectively to my waist as he turned to my mother. Mrs. Martinez. His tone was perfectly polite but carried zero warmth. I'm Cameron Webb, Erica's husband. My mother's face cycled through confusion, disbelief, calculation, then forced delight. Husband? But Erica never mentioned. 3 years this December. Cameron supplied smoothly. We keep our private life private for security reasons. My father pushed through the crowd, face flushed. What's going on here? Some kind of stunt? Erica, if you hired actors to create a scene at your sister's wedding. Cameron's expression hardened imperceptibly. Mr. Martinez, I'm Cameron Webb, CEO of Webb Security Solutions. Your daughter and I have been married for nearly 3 years. Webb Security Solutions. The name hung in the air like a bomb. Even my technology-averse father recognized it. WSS protected everyone from the Pentagon to Apple. Annual revenue in the billions. That's impossible, my father managed. We would have known. Would you? Cameron asked with genuine curiosity. When have you ever shown genuine interest in Erica's actual life? From what I witnessed today, and what she's shared over the years, your interest extends only to criticism, not understanding. Natalie appeared, her bridal gown rustling. Connor trailed behind her, looking confused. What's happening? Who are these people? Apparently, my mother said faintly, your sister has a husband. That's ridiculous. Natalie's voice was shrill. She's making it up for attention. On my wedding day. Cameron's arm tightened around my waist. Mrs. Blackwell, congratulations on your marriage. I apologize for missing the ceremony. International obligations kept me in London until a few hours ago. His impeccable manners made Natalie's rudeness stand out in stark relief. Connor's friend pulled out his phone, fingers flying over the screen. Holy hell, that's actually Cameron Webb, Forbes cover 2 months ago. Net worth estimated at $15 billion. A collective gasp rippled through the ballroom. My mother swayed, gripping a chair for support. I don't understand, she whispered, and for once her question sounded genuine rather than accusatory. When have you ever wanted to understand me, Mother? I asked gently. When have you celebrated anything about me? She had no answer. As for me, Cameron continued, his voice turning cold as steel. I've been looking forward to meeting the family Erica has described, though after witnessing today's behavior, I find myself profoundly disappointed. My father's face darkened. Now listen here. No, Mr. Martinez, you listen. Cameron's tone could have cut glass. I watched from the terrace as you publicly humiliated your daughter. I saw you assault her. I heard what you said. My security team was prepared to intervene, but Erica signaled them to stand down. That's the kind of person your daughter is. Even after your despicable behavior, she didn't want to create a scene at her sister's wedding. Fortunately for you, my wife is a better person than I am, because if anyone ever treated her that way again. He left the threat hanging, civilized, but unmistakable. The ballroom had gone silent. Even the wait staff had frozen. Right on cue, the ballroom doors opened again. 2 individuals in crisp suits entered, their bearing immediately alerting me to their identities. Rebecca and Troy, my most trusted team members. They approached with purposeful strides, stopping at a respectful distance. Rebecca spoke first, using my official title deliberately. Director Martinez, apologies for the interruption. Situation in Paraguay requires your authorization. The title hung in the air. Director Martinez. Whispers erupted immediately. Director? Did she say director? My father's confusion was almost comical. Director of what? Some regional office? Cameron's smile was razor sharp. Your daughter is Deputy Director of Operations for the Central Intelligence Agency, Mr. Martinez. She's the youngest person ever appointed to that position. Her work has saved American lives across 4 continents and earned her the highest security clearance possible. More gasps, more whispers. My mother looked like she might faint. Natalie stepped forward, her bridal glow dimming. That's impossible. Erica is just... Just what, Natalie? I asked quietly. Just your disappointing older sister? Just the family failure? She had no answer. The Erica Martinez I know, Cameron said, his voice carrying effortlessly, is brilliant, courageous, and formidable. She commands the respect of hardened field operatives and government officials worldwide. She makes decisions daily that affect national security. He turned to look directly at my father. And for some inexplicable reason, she still cared enough to attend this wedding, despite knowing exactly how you'd treat her. My father seemed to age a decade in moments. The confident investment banker vanished, replaced by a confused old man. Why didn't you tell us? His voice was smaller than I'd ever heard it. Would you have believed me? Or would you have found a way to diminish this too? His silence was answer enough. Troy approached with a secure tablet. Director, I hate to press, but we need your decision on the Paraguay operation. I took the tablet, reviewed the intelligence brief, and made my call. Proceed with Extraction Plan Delta. Increase surveillance on the secondary target. I'll call for full briefing in 30 minutes. Yes, ma'am. Troy accepted the tablet back. The professional exchange took seconds, but its impact on the room was seismic. This wasn't performance. This was real power, real responsibility, and I wielded it with casual authority. Cameron checked his watch. We should go. Helicopters waiting, and the London team needs us for the debrief. I nodded, then turned to face my stunned family one final time. Congratulations on your wedding, Natalie. I wish you and Connor genuine happiness. Connor stepped forward, offering his hand to Cameron. It's an honor to meet you both, Mr. Webb. Director Martinez. I hope we'll have a chance to get to know each other properly in the future. His sincerity was unexpected and touching. I shook his hand warmly. I'd like that, Connor. My parents remained frozen, their carefully constructed narrative lying in ruins. Mr. and Mrs. Martinez, Cameron said with perfect courtesy, thank you for the invitation. My father finally found his voice. Erica, wait. We need to talk about this. We've always wanted what's best for you. We've always been proud. No, Dad, I interrupted gently. You haven't. But that's okay. I don't need you to be proud of me anymore. And with that, Cameron and I turned and walked out. My security team fell into formation around us. Behind us, the whispers exploded into full-voiced exclamations. The Martinez family would never be the same. Neither would I. The helicopter waited on the Hilton's rooftop helipad, blades rotating lazily. As we approached, I felt a curious lightness. Decades of baggage left behind in that ballroom, along with my parents' shattered illusions. You okay? Cameron asked over the rotor noise. Better than okay, I replied honestly. I'm free. The Paraguay situation was legitimate, a deep-cover operative needing emergency extraction. 3 hours later, we'd coordinated the operation successfully from our penthouse overlooking Lake Michigan. By midnight, Cameron and I were finally alone on our terrace. Some wedding, he remarked, loosening his tie. Not quite how I planned to introduce you to the family. The look on your father's face when Troy called you director was worth everything. He pulled me into his arms. Your mother followed us to the helicopter. I know. She said they want to talk. To get to know me. What do you want? I'm not sure yet. 31 years of patterns don't change in an afternoon. No, he agreed, but revelations create opportunities for change. Over the following months, my phone exploded with messages from family members who'd never bothered before. Distant relatives suddenly remembered birthdays. My father sent stiff texts about discussing recent developments. But I wasn't the same Erica who'd craved their approval. I established firm boundaries, weekly family dinners, gradually becoming less strained. My father in anger management therapy, my mother learning to respect limits, Natalie and I in cautious conversations about our shared trauma. Healing wasn't linear. There were setbacks, moments when old patterns resurfaced. But there was also accountability that never existed before, a willingness to acknowledge harm and attempt repair. The most profound change was in me. I no longer measured my worth by their approval. I no longer diminished myself to make them comfortable. I no longer accepted disrespect as the price of belonging. 1 year after that infamous wedding, Cameron and I hosted a gathering at our home. My CIA colleagues, Cameron's sister Hannah and her family, genuine friends, even Connor and a cautiously warming Natalie. As I looked around at this diverse group, chosen family interspersed with healing biological relationships, I realized something profound. Family isn't just about shared DNA, it's about who shows up, who sees you clearly and loves you anyway, who celebrates your successes without jealousy and supports you through failures without judgment. Sometimes those people share your bloodline, often they don't. The magic happens when you stop forcing connections and instead nurture the ones that bring mutual growth. Standing in our kitchen, Cameron's arms around me, I watched my father engaged in genuine conversation with Troy, my mother laughing at something Hannah said, Natalie and Connor looking at us with what might actually be respect. Not perfect. Still complicated, but real in a way it never was before. Happy? Cameron asked simply. Yes, I answered truthfully. I am. If you've struggled with toxic family dynamics, know this. Your worth isn't determined by those who failed to see it. Building boundaries isn't selfish, it's survival. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is create distance until genuine change occurs. Please hit that like button and subscribe to Formidable Revenge channel for more stories of standing up and speaking out. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and comment below telling me where you're watching from. Have you experienced family relationships healing after boundaries? Or have you found peace in chosen family? I want to hear your stories. Remember, you are never alone in this journey.